Welcome back, and I wanted to throw out there, I really appreciate everyone checking out the videos, especially because I am trying to grow this Whatnot community out, help each other out. This video is getting the way I got to 1,000 sales really quickly, how I've helped a few other people that want to start streaming get to their sales, first 1,000 sales really quickly. I know it's a big deal because then you start getting your payouts, which is really helpful, especially if you're trying to grow. Having to wait the 1 to 2 weeks is really rough. So in this video, I'm going to give you 3 different tips that can actually help you to grow, to get there faster, so that way you can start getting your money, get your first 1,000 sales without losing money, and also make money while you're getting there quickly. Kicking it off, there is one way to start getting those first 1,000 sales, and that's what a lot of people do, which is the $1 start method, right? That means you start every single bid, no matter what it is, at $1, right? So a lot of people are going to be like, okay, cool, I can go into a stream, buy a bunch of stuff for $1, because after about 3 shirts or 2 hoodies or whatever it is, you can kind of get in there, and then they're getting free shipping. So they're just buying off you really quickly. That is one way to do it. A lot of people start doing it that way. Some people even stick to that no matter, even if they're at 100,000 followers. I do know people that have done it from 0 to 100,000. And it does work for a lot of people, right? Because in the beginning, yeah, you're going to lose money depending, unless you're getting something for less than about 75 cents after fees, what Whatnot takes out. You're going to lose money for a while until you start getting those bid ups. Now, granted, that is a fast way to gain followers. It also is a great way to get sales because a lot of people want to get a good deal, right? So they're joining in, they're doing $1. I did do that. I do have another thing about it, but I'll get into that in a minute. I did do that to my first 500 followers. I do think that's a great way because people love getting a deal. So they'll join in, get the $1, and that is one great way to do it because especially you want to put in the title if you're going to do that. Put $1 starts. It's always good if you can do anything less than 5. So 5, 4, all the way down to 1. It's a great way to do it, is to put that in the title because people then know what they're paying, especially if you're smaller. A lot of people are really going to appreciate that because they're like, hey, I don't have to compete. Obviously, if I'm going up against someone that has 20,000 followers, $1 is not going to sell for $1. If I'm starting in essentials at $1, fear of God, right? And I have 50,000 followers, it's probably going for $45 to $60 versus if I have 10 followers, I'm probably going to sell for that one, maybe $3, right? Because you might only have 1 to 2 people in chat. So that is a good way to do it. I personally don't like doing the $1 start. I don't want people to lose money. I don't think you should want to lose money on Whatnot. I would at least always want to break even. $1 also, I'll make a whole nother video about that because there is a downside to $1 starts, but I'll get into that in another video, but that is one way to grow. Another way to do it, and this one is not as well done or well known, there is a way to do this. You can actually do giveaways with a purchase. So what I did is I went in and I'd start a giveaway, but the only way to join was to actually make a purchase, right? So you have a set time. If they purchase something, they automatically get in the giveaway. Now, my giveaways when I did this went up to a good item, right? So a 1990s, Nike single stitch, something really good, because then people were wanting to get in it. They purchased something. So then you actually start getting people to bid against each other. This one really worked well for me. I think it would work well for a lot of people if they knew how to do it. I did this and it worked wonderful. I'd get like 50 to 100 purchases really quickly after I got to the first 500 followers. And the way I did that was you have to buy something to get in the giveaway, right? So I would actually give out bangers or grails or whatever you want to call it on my wall and be like, hey, this is my giveaway, make a purchase, you get to join, right? But it was a value of about $40 or up t-shirts, Stussy, Supreme, and I wanted to make it valuable, and I'd start everything at $1. So people are actually starting to bid up faster doing it this way, right? Because they want the free t-shirt, and if they have to spend $10, they're like, hey, $10 is $10, not a big deal because then I'm getting a Supreme for $10, right? So they actually start competing, and a lot of people didn't realize they were spending more than what the giveaway was worth. So I'd have people compete just to join in, just to get in the giveaway. So that is a great way to do it. I think that's underutilized by a lot of people. That was something I did coming up. Made it super easy. I started doing, I was only doing 10 to 20 sales a show if I was on for 3 hours. All of a sudden, I was doing that in about 30 minutes because I'd have that giveaway up, and it was something amazing. I'd start the stream off with that. And once I started the stream off with it, a lot of people started joining in quickly because they knew that that was going to be there. I do 3 or 4 per stream, but I always started the stream off right away with one behind me. So a lot of people joined in because they didn't want me to stop running them. So that's one thing to do, is the way I did it was right at the start of the stream, boom, I would throw that one up there, show people, had it behind me the whole time. I'd explain it, I'd walk through it, I'd kind of show it every once in a while. I wanted to emphasize that there was a good shirt behind me for free as long as you made a purchase. Now, I always did that right at the start, the middle, and then the last end of the stream, because then people also knew this is the last chance they get. So then the people had to come in and start buying just to get the giveaway. People were hanging out. And because they were buying waiting for the giveaway, my viewers went up as well, right? Because I have somebody that's going to wait 5 minutes for that giveaway. All of a sudden, I get more and more people coming in. So I was holding 20 people. I was getting more sales. So that is just a great way to do it. I think it is definitely underutilized and something you should try out. But the biggest thing to get to 1,000 sales, and this sounds crazy to a lot of people, get good product. Now, when people mean good product, get something that somebody's willing to buy. Even if you're doing it at $1, make sure to get something somebody's willing to buy. Right? If I get an Old Navy blank t-shirt, no one's gonna buy that even for $1, right? But if I come in and I got a Carhartt, which I do sell a lot of, right? I got Carhartt, I can sell that at $1. That's going to sell. Now I might be willing to take a loss, but a lot of times if it's a good brand, Carhartt, Nike, Nike with like a big graphic, metal bands, it's probably not gonna sell for $1, but I'm gonna sell good product. In the first couple streams, I might lose money. I'm gonna have to take that L just to get to the 1,000 sales and get the growth. But after people know that I'm selling good product, they're gonna stop doing that. Now, one way to do this is also put the products in the shop. I know a lot of people hate doing that. I don't do that anymore, but it helped me when I was trying to get to those 1,000 sales, because if I put good product in the store, people can see what kind of product I have, and I wouldn't put all of it in there. I'd probably put about 50 to 75%. I'd still have some random polls so people would hang out. If they didn't like anything in the shop, they also would be like, okay, well, what else does he have? Right? It has to be something similar. I might like something. So that's like another good way to do it is load the shop about 50 to 100% and then start doing that. And the reason being is once you start doing that, they're going to be like, okay, I know I can check the shop for about 50% and I'm going to wait for the other 50. And this way they can also see, hey, he has good product. Let me follow him, come back and check it out again. And a good product will sell. I know that sounds weird. I took a loss from my first 1,000 sales up until about 500, and then I started breaking even to about 600, and then I started making a lot of money, right? I started making $2 to $3 a product by my first 1,000 sales, and the reason being is I sold good product. Now me, when I started a while back, Whatnot wasn't as big as it is now. I also didn't have a community, which is something I'm trying to build through YouTube and through my Whatnot and through a few other items that I'm going to be doing. I think having a good community helps that, but definitely having a good product. Those are the 3 tips I got. $1 starts, giveaways with purchase, and good product. Those 3 things will help you get to the 1,000 sales. The secret 4th one is join a community, help each other out, buy off each other, talk to each other, share with each other. Getting that community that I'm going to personally start or joining someone that you already have is a great way to do it because then you're helping each other get to that 1,000 sales. Also, Whatnot is a trust factor that will go up, but also that way you can get those payouts and keep growing. So those are my 3 tips that I got for you today. Definitely give us a subscribe down below if you found anything in this video helpful. I will be doing different videos, 1,000, 2,000, all the way up to 10,000. I'm not at 10,000 followers yet, but I am up to over 20,000 sales. And I'm going to explain each step of the way, how it helped me, what I learned, what I had to go through. So that way you don't have to do it and it's much easier. Definitely give us a subscribe down below. Hit the bell icon so that way I can help you just like I wish somebody helped me along the way. And see you on the next one.